we'll spend this last amount of time collecting some thoughts for the different groups. I'd love to hear from the group that wanted extra time. So let's hear how that went. But if we can get a spokesperson for one of each breakout group to briefly share, that would be amazing. And then we'll do final panelist call in terms of closing thoughts. Who wants to have the final word, any calls to action or things that we'd like to share. So that's what we'll do. Discussion group, who's the extra time group? Like, would anyone like to talk? Let's start with them. Any spokesperson from that group?
I requested time because the conversation was so good.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
We were in the best one. So
Okay.
Joanna
West one? So Joanna, or would someone from the rest of the group like to share? Okay, Joanna, what did you think about that group? Just a few highlights. No need to, doesn't need to be super detailed, but how did it go?
Please, anyone else step in, but we basically just had a really gentle, enjoyable conversation about our own, people talked about their own family experiences. So that part of it, which we haven't solidly focused on today, but has come out through a lot of conversations. So people talked about, their family experiences, what's going on, say, as a grandparent or a parent, it was just everyone got to know each other a bit and shared their experiences. So that was very valuable.
Great. Thanks, Joanna. Other group from West 1? Anyone like to share? For sure, looking at you. Oh, yeah, great. Yes.
I don't need it necessarily.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Talked about stereotypes, misconceptions being sort of the heart and soul of really today and the experience.
Great. Good. And thank you. Final breakout group. Would anyone like to share? Quick summary. Anything that's yes, please.
Ours was it was good. Very similar, I think, by the sounds of it. We talked about a lot of different aspects. We talked about how a lot of education, but also businesses are set up to promote high performance into roles, like management roles, which aren't necessarily where that individual fits. We talked about that key of the acceptance and being brave enough in the first place to seek acceptance. And then there was a lot of common trends of individuals going for acceptance once they've reached a high level already in their environment, and then only at that point feeling confident enough to say, push back and say, no, this isn't right for me, this is what I need. And how that isn't always easy to start off a career or to look at different individuals in different pathways. So I think there was a lot of that topic of conversation as well.
Thank you, Angus. Okay, so now everyone question time for the panelists. We'll keep this casual because end of the day and everything, but we'll do 2 questions together. Chime in as you'd like to. I feel like you were just sitting here. Oh, you moved? Yeah. Okay, there's no for a second. Sorry, yes. It's a long day, what is one piece of advice you would want to give to neurodivergent students and workers? What is one piece of advice you would give to neurodivergent students who are graduating and will be entering the workforce this year? Would anyone like to share a few thoughts on that? Yeah, all right.
Know that you're not an imposter. You were meant to be there. And ask for what you need in a way that you acknowledge it's not necessarily because of your divergence or difference. It's probably just a good idea. It's probably just something that anyone needs. You've just maybe got a bit of baggage behind why you're asking, but somebody that hasn't got that baggage will do it confidently. So join that tribe.
Any over here.
Thank you very much. I would advise you that your institution or workplace is lucky to have you and celebrate that fact. Often there's like an attitude of like, oh, aren't we brilliant, we're so welcoming to you neurodivergents. no, it's the other way around. So celebrate that. And the other thing, which is related to what you said, Angus, don't feel that you have to disclose everything if you really don't want to and you're not there yet and it doesn't feel safe for you. Seek out that safety and build it over time.
Anyone else? Okay, one final question to the panelists, but also to everyone in the room. What are some takeaways from today? Like, what stuck out today in terms of things that we learned, things that resonated with us in some way, things that we'd like to mull over a little bit, but open to everyone in the room, all of us together, in terms of any takeaways from this. Yes.
I think just the fact that I know this event is called Amplifying Neurodivergent Voices. I think that's a fantastic initiative, it's a fantastic name, but I think what I found today is that the majority of us here haven't even had the chance to vocalise in the first place. So maybe it's not amplifying the voices that's actually letting them free. I don't know. I think so it's amazing that this event does actually exist and that everyone that's behind it did organise it.
Good. Thank you for sharing that. If all goes well, let's hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah.
Like we're learning as we go, so let's see what we can do next time. Angus.
The key bits for me really today was just everyone being here. For a start, is hugely brave in terms of being here, recognising it, having the conversation, and then when individuals are ready to, or if they have already, accepting it and vocalising it in a working or in whatever environment you might be based in. It's then kind of almost, it's your chance to become the educators for the next generation, because we are only one step now. There's a whole wave of generations behind us who are going to be looking for us to speak, to help them.
Really, you and I were talking a couple of topics and things. Would you like to share a few thoughts at the end? Like whatever you'd like to say?
Yeah. You know, if you ask for my opinion, it will never stop. So, yeah, one of the key takeaways, and I think we all agree that we are all pulling in one direction, which is that all of what we're talking about, even if we use the word divergence, right, we don't really want to see that where basically if you're autistic, ADHD, dyslexic, etc., it's just a normal variation of human neurology, right? So apparently there's new research that's been done that shows that there should be some evolutionary advantage to this. I've yet to find it, but I'm sure it will come in handy anyway. So there must be a reason why this is happening, right? And it's perfectly all right. So one of the things we are trying to work on in the corporate world as well, and one of the key takeaways I would like for you to take with you as well, is that saying I'm autistic, I have ADHD, etc., should be a neutral piece of information. It shouldn't have judgment attached to it, right? So when we talk about assumptions, misconceptions, etc., it comes because you've attached judgment to this information. And I don't want to have a superpower, neither do I want to be seen as incapable. It's just a piece of information, you know, the same way I would like to say, oh, I love to eat salad, right? So this is what we're trying to say when we talk about disclosure, and like Angus said, you can disclose whatever you want, that's perfectly fine. But that's the reason why we are being very in your face about this as well, and the way we do it in our organizations as well. Because it's important to see it as, again, a neutral piece of information, and everyone deserves to have respect whatever they are carrying, you know?
Great. Anyone else? Audience people, yes? Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to follow on what the first lady, whose name I don't know, was talking about, the amplifying voice. I think she's got a good point there, because it's great to hear it from a workplace perspective. I think future-wise, if you're amplifying voices, then get people that are not from all different areas, different ages. Please have different ages, not just about young. There's some people that get diagnosed at the age of 50. Let's get everybody there with a conversation. And just maybe share their insights and stories and some of the experiences they have. That might be a good way of amplifying voices if we're talking about that overall, just because I thought that your point was really great, so just wanted to share that. And I think it's been an amazing day. I am not from Cambridge. I was from Hertfordshire. There's nothing around outside the M25, there's not much, other than Birmingham and Manchester. So seeing something and seeing Cambridge University put this on and support this is amazing. I can then go off and help make sure other people around the outer of M25 also know and can come down. You might need a bigger venue though.
Please do. Let's hear one.
And my only one point would be for the lady that was singing over here, who I thought was absolutely brave. I think having a bigger space for her would be great as well, so we're able to accommodate people's needs.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Sorry, too much.
Thank you. I think, anyone else? Anyone else? Audience side, panelist side? Yes.
The thing that came from today, I think, Tyler, I think you're doing a great job actually, and really putting on such an amazing thing. I think it's been a massive privilege to be invited down, and it's something very powerful about being in a room and not being the only panda in the zoo, so to speak. And I think this space was needed, and I think it's needed to sort of, to hatch and to grow. I think you've got something special here, you've created something really good. And what I would say to everybody, find your game changer, find your person that helps you understand you. And you might not be at a point in your life or in your journey where you're comfortable at the moment, and that's fine. You don't have to go out and have to drive a revolution right at this particular minute, but at some point in the next few years, be a game changer for the next person, because actually you're not the only part of the zoo. When you change it a little bit for you, just a few millimetres, you change it from a kilometre for the next person.
Great. That's a pretty good note to go out. I think, so we'll have a little bit of mingle time too. Feel free to eat the rest of the pizza, drink the rest of the coffee, grab any fidget toys. What happens next after this? Because at ThinkLab, we like to think about events, but also be very action driven in terms of like, what do we do? That's a question I'm asking all of you. What happens next in terms of, is very much up to you also. Yes, do you want to?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think the career panel, like in terms of how does one navigate the space of a career when we have all these gifts, would be great.
Good idea. Okay.
And I could include also hobbies, like extracurriculars, like not necessarily a paid career, but like
I'll write that
things
down.
that are great.
Open question too, by the way. So like, think about it now. If you think about it later on the way home, is like get in touch with us one of half a dozen ways, email, social media. But if you've got ideas, let's figure out what the next version of this. I really want to do this again. Maybe bigger, maybe better, maybe whatever that's going to look like. Yeah. Here.
We talked an awful lot about advocacy, and maybe we can turn this into action points. Advocacy workshop, how do I advocate for myself or for somebody else, and reframe everything, because in all honesty, I do find it a little bit sad that we're still, even in this circle, talk about it as a disability, and with a lot of negative words associated to it. And I'd love to see how we could find ways to reframe it a little bit more positive and use that than to advocate, because advocating for yourself over something that is associated with a lot of stigma and negativity requires an awful lot of bravery and makes it so much harder. So I think that might be something.
Yep. Great. Yes.
Can I just say, for staff at the university, we've started a neurodiversity coffee chat group, which you might have seen if you look in Viva Engaged. It's on the last Friday every month at 11 o'clock. We had our first one last week or the week before, and we had 8 people, so that was great. So we'd like to maybe get to double the figures now. So if a few more people would like to join us, so if you just go to Viva Engaged, to the neurodiversity community, it's in there, you've got the links, it's a Zoom call, we just talk about stuff, so feel free to come.
Our emails are on there as well, so feel free to
it will be us.
Reach out, and it's
Okay.
so if that puts you off, it's also fine.
Anyone else? Anyone else want the last word, the final word? Let's stop there. So thank you everyone for coming. Actually thank you, everyone. The fun parts, the parts that were challenging, it's all part of this, and it's been extremely valuable and meaningful. So that's it. Feel free to mingle. I think we've got the building for at least another half an hour. Half an hour? Yeah, okay, so feel free to mingle. Other than that, have a nice weekend. Contact us anytime, and then to be continued. Let's see what happens next. Thank you, everyone. Bye.